Part 2.
Episode 29 and a half.
Why was your daughter laughing so hysterical when you said part 2 yesterday?
I don't know. I think she was saying like fart 2.
Oh.
Like she was just being funny.
I was listening on the phone laughing to hear her giggling so
We were like, we got to do part 2. So here we are yet again. We were just getting into the beauty. I don't know if something's going on with our phone. Thank God we're getting a videographer and we're going to be classing this situation
Do I get
up.
makeup?
No, you're beautiful and perfect just the way you are.
That's just the answer I wanted.
Yeah. Oh, look how good my looks a little bit more mustardy on screen. I think I'm gonna take it off. It looks a little mustardy. Let's just get
a little Century 21ish.
It looks like I just hit the Hall of Fame.
Those were the days, my friend.
Let's get rid of that. All right. Definitely look 20 pounds heavier on screen.
I didn't say a word. I'm not getting up.
I ran 3.7 miles in 30 minutes today.
Wow.
Weighing 231 pounds.
Jackie Joyner.
Yeah, Jackie Joyner Kersey. All right, so here's where we were at. So we got no guests. It's just the two of us today.
Just the two of us.
Yeah, that was actually Will Smith and his son singing about. He rapped about him and his son. Remember?
Oh,
that
did he?
song?
No,
Yeah.
that was just me singing.
So we're going to be talking about two things today. The Nest Standard, which is capping the company at 500 agents, right? We're not capping the growth. We're going to talk about how this is going to be a reinvestment, because we already invest so much in our people, but we're going to focus less on hiring and letting people go and more on, even more than we already do, and we already offer so much, on seeing our agents grow the business, because that's what really counts at the end of the day. So two things I want to talk about. One thing has been getting me a little fired up, right? I follow a lot of coaches and a lot of influencers and Instagram and Facebook people, and realtors are notorious for what these people are doing right now. You know what that is? Perpetrating a fraud. You know what perpetrating a fraud is?
That's pretending to be something you're not.
Oh my God. You know, I'd love to see what people really make at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. And what business they're really doing and what work they're really doing, because the congruency is not lining up in a lot of the times.
Numbers versus I'm number one type thing.
Exactly. Oh, I do 30 million in real estate, but I have a bunch of people under me, so I'm really only making, X amount of dollars. So why do I bring that up? I'm not looking to be negative. A couple of things. I like to sit here and pat each other on the back. But we started getting into this a little bit on Wednesday. And what I am 100% confident in and certain in is the not only the ability, but the work that we have put in. Especially you in the last 40 years, me in the last 20. You can say whatever you want about the two of us, but you cannot question us showing up and being consistent and doing it the right way, right? Would you not say that?
Agreed.
And I'm not looking to brag or anything, but I just sometimes get a little frustrated. There's a lot of noise.
A lot of noise.
And I don't think that matches up. I mean, do you agree with me on that or no?
I do.
Yeah.
I think that we should do less noise and more work.
Exactly. Like, stop telling me what you're going to do.
Yeah.
And do it. Let's see the results, right?
Don't get in the way of yourself.
Exactly.
Just, I got this program, I'm doing this trainer, get out there and work.
And just do it. I mean, people are just, I was listening to something this morning and it said, I listened to this thing called Pep Talk. It's a great app, right? And there's a lot of motivational speakers and whatnot on it. And they say, people talk about the life they want, the results they want. And then he asked them, like, what have you done in the last 24 hours? Tell me what your day looks like, right? And he's like, what you want is not aligning with what you're doing.
All right.
Right? And I think this industry, probably all industries, one of the catch-22s of being an independent contractor is you're your own boss.
And that's one of the reasons that we give those classes every day. Because none of our classes are mandatory, but it gives them an opportunity to schedule themselves. Oh, I got to do this before I go to a class. Or after the class, I'm going to do this and this. Because the thing of independent contractor is sometimes you could let the whole day get away from you.
And I think that's an indicator of whether or not you're going to be successful, because I think our people who are the most successful treat this like a W-2 job. Like it's non-negotiable whether or not you show up and work. Like if all of our agents were W-2 employees and we told them what to do, you must do these many open houses, you must do these many social media posts, you must do these many phone calls to your database.
You must door knock, yeah.
I mean, and when people are like, because we do a lot of business plans, they're like, well, I am working my database. There's a big difference of how one person keeps in touch with their clients and their friends and their family, and there's a big difference of how another person.
Yeah, there's not
one touch. How you doing?
Right. Happy New Year.
Exactly. Like
I haven't spoke to in a year.
Yeah. I mean, you can't say, hey, I can't believe they used somebody else, and you haven't reached out to them or had a dinner with them in 3 months.
And the proof of that is you'll get a new agent, and that new agent may do 10 transactions, and they're going, oh my God, he or she is brand new. How are they so successful? That's the reason.
It's because they're too green to question it.
Yeah, they just go out and do everything we tell them to do.
Exactly, right? There's a great saying, you're in your head, you're dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you overthink it, you're done.
Never had that issue.
You have not, I have. You're good with that.
I'm not in my head.
I look at it. You're saying simple-mindedness is a beautiful thing.
I'm saying that overthinking will only get you into trouble.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Simple-minded, I don't know about that.
Like a rock.
Yeah, like a rock.
Like a rock. So one of the things that got me a little fired up yesterday is one of our brokers did an interview and was saying how we were stopping it at 500. And
I knew that would fire you.
Ooh, and they questioned it. So he kindly said, if you don't believe it, you don't have to be here.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that's just the reality. We are not going above 500 in any circumstances. If anything, we're going to reevaluate this in a year, and if we think it's 450, we'll go down to 450. And it's about, we want to have the ability to be able to invest even at a higher level than we do now, which again I think is an amazing bar that we have set. But I want to take that bar and even raise it even higher, what we could do with our agents.
I think that one of the things the agents don't know is if you don't set a stoppage, which we're the first one that say we're going to stop here. If you don't set it, you hire anyone that walks through the door.
Yep, you open a brokerage, you have to do it, right?
All these big companies are doing this. And the problem with this is that when they say urban nest, we want them to say, wow, what quality agents. But if you're in a fight to the numbers game, you're in a fight to lose your reputation.
In the beginning, we had some hard decisions to make. When we brand new 7 years ago when we opened, there were some agents who wanted to be a part of us, did good business, they wanted special deals, they did business where like, they pushed the line on ethics, and we said no. And I think that's made all the difference that has gotten us here. But with success, there's a lot of people who want to be here that if you're just focusing on the numbers, you start, I believe, having these conversations of, well, I can overlook that, right? Well, we'll take that.
Right.
And it dilutes
who we are.
It dilutes who you are, without a doubt. And I think that's something, the reason why I put this quote on your last day on earth, the person you became will meet the person you have become, is because I think all of us want to be the best version of ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. So what I was thinking about the other day is, what is our criteria for Urban Nest? And here, tell me what you think of this. This is the first time he's hearing this. People who want to become the best version of themselves. Is that not a great way of putting it?
It's a phenomenal way of putting it.
Like, if you're a 3-deal-a-year person, there's still a spot for you. But that's probably not the best version of you. Right?
I think if you're a 3-transaction agent a year, that you're either working part-time or you're doing it because there's nothing else to do.
And that's not the Urban Nest agent. It's not, we are committed full-time realtors. Doesn't mean you can't have a side gig. You can, but you got to treat real estate like a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
That's a requirement. But when you're looking at people who want to be the best version of themselves, they always want to grow, right? And it's not just about commissions. It's not just about taking care of your clients. It's about growing as a person and having a quality of life and being a leader. We talked about that last week. There's a lot of different ways you could be a leader. You don't have to be on the top in the front of 500 people on a stage. You can lead by example. You can lead your clients and your friends and your family. They're aspirational. They want more. They want to give back to the community. They're fun. I mean, that's the goal.
Well, look at even, we're doing Buffini in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, and look at how everyone's clamoring to sign up. Where agents are asking to be trained in 2019 to make a better year. So that's an example. We're not begging; they're all asking because they want to do better. So that's a great reflection of what we are.
And we're doing everything we can to push them to do it. And every time they do it, it costs us $400 or $500.
So I think we're the only company that gives you a training that you pay for, and then
we reimburse
as long as you complete it, we reimburse the cost of training. I don't know another company out there, and if anyone does, let me know.
So
that does that.
Here's my best case scenario. This is the mission I believe for Urban S. Tell me if you're on board with this. I would love to see every single agent making six figures at our company. And I know that's a high level.
Every single agent would love to be making six figures.
We already are just about at 22-23%. Almost a quarter of our agents are making 100 or are making like 75. Mm-hmm. Because and I would love to see them being not chasing business through online leads, although that will supplement their income.
Yeah, any way they get it is their personal.
But I'd love to see them investing portion of their time into their relationships.
It's all relationship based.
So I'm in this thing called the Vistage Group. It's an interesting CEO group. I love it. I spent an entire day yesterday. And the speaker yesterday started with, there's so much negative news around. You just wake up, the first thing you do is you look at your phone and it's just negative, 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 regardless of your political affiliation, regardless, right? Mm-hmm. He said, let's start the day out by you talking about something positive, right? Like, just give us something positive of your life. So we were all going through it. Angie was with me yesterday of spouses. It was cool. I think she should do it as well. And everyone's talking like, the most positive thing in my life is my wife, my kids. Angie was like, our family trip to Whistler. I was like, so I got a quick funny story. I sing the girls to sleep every night. I mean, we've talked about this before. Like, that's when
you get that habit.
When you called, so I take turns. Well, they like hearing the song, so I've been playing Bon Jovi for them, right? And there's a song called "I'll Be There for You." I'll be there for you, right?
Yeah.
It's a great line, and then I'll be the water when you. That's one. But this is a great line. I'll be the water when you're thirsty, baby. When you get drunk, I'll be the wine. Anyway, long story short, they love the song, right? So the way our house works, Angie parks in one of the garages and I park in the other. So we pull out sometimes at the same time. And
she might hit each other.
Well, I'm capable of that. So on the way out, I hear not just Ella, not just Lola, but also Angie singing "I'll Be There for You." So I was thinking, like, wow, this is supposed to be a Facebook Live for Making Sense Common, but I was like, my song, like my voice, my life, my song has affected my whole family, right? So that was the thing I shared for this is the positive thing in my life. So everyone took a turn. So then the speaker goes, you realize nobody said because I hit my numbers, my monthly numbers. Nobody said because I sold my house for X amount of dollars. It was all about people, right? All about relationships. I remember at our holiday party when we were talking, I said, no one's going to remember any of this in 10 years from now. You're going to remember the people, right? You don't remember what money you made on selling elk clover, but you remember the person, right? You remember the relationship, what was going on in their life. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yes, relationship based. who we are.
It's who we are. And I think that's who most people are. So we were talking about how people lead, right? So you would be a servant leader. Would you agree?
Oh my God, here I go.
So
Salami, baloney.
So we were talking about that, and we were like, what do you think your clients are? Do you think your clients are important, significance-based? Are they looking for competency and capability, or are they looking to be liked and loved? And I said, they should want competency and
I
capability.
was going to say, that's what I would want.
But I still believe they want to be heard and seen more than even that. Because it's such an emotional purchase.
I believe that's a component.
I believe that's number one. I believe that
Well,
is why,
you could be heard and seen. If you don't have the competence to do the deal, you
doesn't matter. It doesn't. They all play a part. But which
Right.
do you think they get slotted at? I think that a lot of people, believe it or not, want to be heard and seen even more so. So what are we even saying with this? We're saying that it's all relationship based. We're saying that that's by capping it at 500 agents, that gives us the ability to have our brokers and our staff and ourselves guarantee that we can be relationship based for as long as we own this company.
Well, I also think the structure of the fact that right now we have four managers for 425 agents shows you how involved we are.
We know our people.
We know our people.
Because knowing your clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing your friends, you could jump over all of the things that are getting in the way of getting to you where you need to go. So if I've been through 12 transactions with one of our agents, I know where they get hung up sometimes. I know where they need help. You know some of their backstory, right? That's the type that helps us be that.
And to bring it all around, basically what we're saying is that's why we don't want to be a mega company of 1,000 agents and you become a number and it's a driven force that we want to hire just to get to numbers.
All right, let's talk about the levels. Okay? Because there is some fallacy of, oh my God, do I got to do 12 transactions a year? Because our goal is 500 transactions a month, 500 agents, all making six figures, all living the best version of themselves. That's our goal. But how does that look? Well, some agents are going to do 7, 8 transactions a month. Some are going to do 6 a year. So it's all going to even out. That's okay. How do you slot in? This is what we want to talk about. So your first is your brand new agent. You're a mentee, it's called. You need a lot of training. Our requirements are that you have to treat this like a full-time business. You have to have a plan. You have to attend the classes if you want to be a part of that, right? Because we can't let you out into the wild without knowing your stuff. One of the biggest issues in our industry is that there isn't enough mentorship. We agree on that? Okay. So that's the first slot. So if you're brand new and you want to be part of Urban Nest, we don't have a ton of them, and we're going to be a little harder on you and say, hey, listen, you better have a plan. But we will, if you prove it, we'll take you, correct?
We will take you if you're serious into being a successful realtor.
Yeah. Now, on the flip side, there are some companies that are so focused on hiring for numbers that they're hitting up the the licensing companies because they want to pad their numbers, and they get revolving doors and a ton of new agents. That's not us. How many new agents we got now? Like 15, 20?
Probably 20, though. We have a full training program by
We do.
Georgia and by Jennifer on training all the
But maybe
way.
like 4% of our company is
Yeah,
brand new.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he's right. There's a 12-week mentee program. Then there's the Buffini program. I mean, it's inclusive.
Our mentees, I believe their success rate is so much higher.
Yeah.
We have a mentee that worked in another company 3 years and did 0 deals.
Yeah.
And she's on her second transaction for over $1 million and joining Buffini, and
Yeah.
she was ready to quit the business.
Then we have another mentee that came in from another industry where he was doing well, and he's already popping big deals, $1 million deals, $2 million deals, and he's able to leverage his expertise in other industries into this industry.
And he's using us shamelessly, which he
course.
should be, calling us on every strategy on how to get it listed, how to get it sold, how to negotiate. That's what we do.
So that's that. Then there's a second level, which is kind of in between. And this is where it comes between your choice and the broker. You're kind of like 3, 4, 5 deals a year, and you want to get it to the next level. The next level is 100K, right? So you're stuck in no man's land. You have options now. You can take the Buffini class, which we provide. You can kind of go into a partial mentee situation where you could be at like 80-20 or 90-10, right?
You still have
You're still getting a ton of help, and you're able to kind of reinvest in yourself, right? Maybe kind of like learn the fundamentals again. This usually works for like agents who have been in new homes for a while, or agents who have worked out of state and they don't understand how.
Or agents that got out of the business and decided 6 years later to come back in.
Because
They
I
don't
mean,
know
if you're
any
not
of the
in it,
forms, right?
yeah, you lose it. It's like a language or doing math.
So we have a plethora of ways you can go.
Yeah, so those are the first two. Even in that situation, you could potentially be 100%, right?
Yeah.
So then you have people who are like they're either at 100K commission or they're on their way there. They're ready to kill it. That's our goal. We call it the 100K Club. We want to see everybody at the 100K Club.
And we give them a cool award, 100K.
Yes.
That Danny's doing, not Dave and I. I'm not taking credit for it.
We don't. Then the next level is literally called Nest level, 20 transactions a year.
And boy, everyone's trying to achieve that next level.
A super awesome glass award that you could kill somebody with. I mean,
Great dinner.
It's literally like this big. Great dinner. You get to be pretty much the best of the Nest, and the Nest is literally one of the top brokerages, I'd say, even in the country. So that's that. And then there is a secret top level that we are putting the final touches on, yet to be named, where the top 12 agents will be in a mastermind group, and you name it. Now, Nest level gets 4 events a year. They get special, but then there's the secret top, which will be personal coaching, you name it, some great stuff. So that's where we slot you in. And I believe the way we've set it up, we have a spot for everybody. But what's required? You got to do the work. Right. You got to be willing to commit, right?
You do. Otherwise, you could just become that agent, does 5 or 6 deals, and that makes you happy. But we believe everyone in our company that's doing 6 transactions last year would like to make 12 this year, and
exactly
on and on.
Because if they're using all the tools, it's impossible for them to only do 5 or 6 deals.
It is impossible.
Because
and an update in the last 2 days when the video did shut down, we had 3 or 4 offers. So it seems to me that the market on all price ranges from 150 to $1 million something, that the holiday is over and the market is roaring back. So get ready and get prepared.
I believe that too. You know, I've been reading online that applications for loans are going up like crazy. People are starting it. I know for a fact that our listings are being shown even more so.
Yeah, I had an agent yesterday tell me that she was showing the lakes, and she said everywhere she went, they said, "Oh, you already showed this." She said, "No, I didn't."
Yeah.
And 3 or 4 Urban Nest agents were showing the exact same properties she
Yeah.
was. But also she said that the agents were so much more willing to help and anxious to get the listing sold. So
Gotta love a normal market. Normal market is like the ultimate bullshit litmus test. Like, you can't... what?
am I getting you the ivory soap?
The average seller. No, because, you know, you got agents on the high horse, right? And you got people, it's like, oh, I got the best things in sliced bread. No, you go into every transaction wanting to work with the other person, wanting to have a great relationship, because you know you're going to work with the other agent.
They were opening doors, opening lights.
That's the way it should be.
Opening lights in the house, meeting them there if there was a key any, not a key any, and saying, wow, you know.
Were they actually doing their job?
A little quiet sometimes is a good thing. Get everybody motivated to get their listing sold.
Level the playing field, right?
Yeah.
And yet another reason why we're capping a company.
Right.
because we want our agents so skilled and ready for any season of life to be able to succeed at the highest level, to be prepared for any market, especially one like this where they're not only just going to survive, they're going to thrive.
Yeah,
This
and
is like-
you know, a little bit of a newsflash.
Newsflash?
Newsflash. Yesterday we got the results. We got the qualifications for 40 under 40,
Yeah.
and they changed the rules.
I know. I was there for that.
And one of them is you got to be a committee member,
It's always been like that.
active committee member, and show proof of active committee member.
Yeah.
So
It's a bad memory, that conversation.
Well, I'm only saying I don't want to know the bad memory. I'm telling you, if you're thinking going for 40 under 40,
Get involved.
get involved. The first month, if you go to the first meeting, you are now a member of a committee.
And you know what? It's important to stay involved because there's a lot of good information on there. It's just like owning a brokerage. You're going to hear a lot of the information that's similar speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to be at Trends Committee next week. I forgot to tell you that. The reality is this: you can hear this information 100 times. You may get something different from it every time.
One point could change and give you. We had WCR this week, and we're a sponsor this year, and it was sold out, and there were 25 of our agents.
It's a good group in
there that are participating. So one of the other things I want to throw in is be involved, even if it's one thing. Be involved.
Yeah, and not only that, you're gonna meet other agents, and let me tell you something. If there's a hot house or something, and you're making an offer, and now you got a name to a face, and you got a relationship, it's only gonna help the situation.
It's exactly what we're talking about.
I mean, if I'm saying like, well, we got 4 offers, and they're all pretty similar, but I know David Urbanest, and I know that they're gonna do the right thing. He's a great realtor. He does a good business, and I know that they're not gonna try to disappear at the last minute. It's super important.
Right. Well, even that lady boss in the speech said she does deals with other WCR women because she knows that she could count on them to close.
Relationships matter?
Relationships matter.
Couldn't agree more. Okay, so that is the Nest Standard. Good luck if we change it, because it is not happening.
It's not where we want to be.
No.
We know where we want to go. It's 7 years now. We've seen our company grow. We've seen our company succeed, and we want to keep that same level.
And we've seen from past companies that are no longer in existence, companies that we've been a part of in the past as well, what it looks like on the other side of that gate.
Yep.
We've seen what 1,600 agents look like. We've seen what a 2,500 agent company look like, and what happened to the poor guy who owned the whole thing.
We've seen what a 750 company looked like. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
Dave and I like to stay in control of our destiny.
Yes.
And give the best we can to our agents.
Simple.
What we're about.
It's like you have a restaurant and keep the quality of the food high. You know, just because what happens is you get such a big restaurant, now you have 12 locations, you want to save a couple of dollars on the meat, so now you don't get the same quality of
And
meat.
it's like we said, when you go in, I went to Roma Deli last night.
Love that place.
And I just had chicken cutlet and spaghetti, and you know, you never say, wow, this was great. You just say if it was bad.
Yeah.
If you had a bad experience.
Totally.
We had 3 people. We all had great dishes. Everything was perfect. That's what you want in real estate.
Not to mention they know who you are.
They do know who I am.
Which is a different experience than going to maybe a chain, right?
Right.
Although there are some good chains,
Yeah.
you know. depends
So
on
the
person.
point I'm making is that your service always as an agent has to be premium. Because if you do everything perfect, they may not give you a kudo.
Yeah.
But boy, if you do something bad, they're going to tell 10 people what a terrible.
And that's a shame.
And that's what we're doing. If you are trained, if you are informed, and we talk about Buffini training, but we also train all week long with Dave's videos, my class, George's class, Jennifer's class, Danny's technology classes. Then
updates from Bernadette, updates from Cassie.
Right, your chance of doing something wrong goes down.
They diminish.
You bet.
All right, so I think we've done a good job explaining that.
Are you?
No, we're good.
Oh, okay.
So we probably have 10 minutes before this falls apart. The broker shuffle. So this also plays in the part.
We started it last time, but we don't know how much got on the video.
I do. I watched.
Oh, and what happened?
Before we even started doing that, like
Okay.
role playing, it left. So this time of year, a lot of agents start just debating about going to different companies, right? And what we were saying is it really shows what kind of brokerage you're at, the way they treat you on the way out, right? So our policy is this, it's always been this, it was this when he ran another company. I don't know if they do it the same way anymore, I don't think they do.
No.
But basically it's this. We want you to be here not because we're holding you hostage, but because you want to be here. And
There's no in the kitchen talking to another agent saying, "Ooh, I gotta close the deal before I leave." Oh, they're not gonna give me my listing. They're gonna drop me from 100% to 50%. Here's our policy: you come with happiness and join the company. You leave with happiness. We give you your listings. We close your transactions. Exact same commission. There's no added TC
no
fees.
penalties.
There's no penalty, and you get your license the day you request to leave.
So let's talk about it. So you're saying a lot of things that a lot of maybe agents who've never left companies before, they don't understand. A brokerage could technically just say, all right, you want to leave? We're going to mail your license down to the division and put you out of business for 10 days. If you are
10 days is they're allowed to do.
Which we don't do. We actually give you your physical license the moment you ask for it. I mean, we just give it to you.
You may have to wait an hour if I'm at lunch.
Yeah, but we are not trying to hold you hostage. We understand you may have a perceived better situation waiting for you. You may be having a team that you're going on
You
to.
may want to go to new home sales. You may want
You
to
got it.
turn around and go to a company where there's a team that says we're going to give you 20 leads a month. Never, ever hold you
And we
back.
only have 70 spots left anyway. So it's like we want to give that spot to someone who wants to be here.
I had an agent that had to go to another company for leads. It was an awkward situation. She put 3 in escrow with us and waited those 3 days to get them in escrow with us before she went to the other
because
company.
she was going to get a worse split.
Right.
So here's the thing. Also, whatever you're at, so our transaction fee, your commission split, your TC fee, if it's voluntary if you want it, it's all exactly the same. We don't tack on a TC fee for you to leave. We don't add your transaction fee because you leave. We don't take extra commission. It's all in our contract.
And that's the broker shuffle. The broker shuffle is I got to close the deal before I leave and cash the check. And that's not reflected
It's the broker shuffle because
it's not reflected well on the brokers in the city.
Because then they say I can't. You got to do 7 exit interviews. They're not in the office today. You can't get your license. We don't play those games. You're a professional. You need to get your license when you need it.
Yeah.
So it's super important to us. Look at my dance.
I want to do that dance.
That was like a
Shuffle.
yeah.
Okay.
So lastly, let's say it one more time. I want to get your opinion on this. On your last day on Earth, Pops, you could meet the person. You're going to meet the person that you could have become. Is it going to be the same person you are?
It's going to be the same person I am. I'm going to smile and hug them.
Yeah. It's like it'll be like looking in the mirror. That's the goal.
I love the person that, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I feel that I did.
There's no such thing as perfect, right?
Right.
And perfect is boring, and I don't think you could trust perfect.
And I'm not boring.
That depends. I'm just messing with you. No, but seriously, so my goal is this. You're right. My full intention is I want to make sure that I got the most out of this body, heart, and mind that I possibly could. That I did it the way of integrity on the way there. Because I do believe that the journey is almost, maybe more important than the destination. Because it's like the ends and the means, right? So you could have amazing results, but if you sacrificed who you are and what you believe in to get those results, then the journey, you lost all the gifts and the lessons on the
journey.
Right?
I agree.
You believe?
And I will end it with this. We talk about what we want to be. We want to be the best realtor. We want to be the best husband, wife, mate, dad, mom. Dave sang to his daughters because I sang to him. So my joy I gave him, he gives his family. It's the same way with real estate. We give every part of ourselves to our agents, and then our agents become intelligent and train other agents, and in
And
the
then they give all of them to their clients
Right.
and their friends and their family.
Right. So if you want your legacy to be that realtor, then we'll sing to them and they should be with us. That's how I will.
If ever you should leave me. That's what he used to sing to me. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
Thanks.